What if I told you that you could save the lives of 8 human beings? Although some might claim that organ donation is unethical and should be discontinued from practice, organ donation greatly benefits society by giving those who have lost the opportunity to live the opportunity to give the gift of life, and therefore should be continued in practice. After researching this topic, I have come to know both sides of the argument as to why people are in support of organ donation and why people are against organ donation. There are 3 main reasons why I believe that organ donation is ethical. Organ donation requires the consent of the donor. People who need organs are placed on a fair wait list, and organ donation ultimately does more good than harm. Let's take a look at the first reason why I believe that organ donation is ethical. Organs can't be donated from people who do not consent to it and from people who are not dead. The Anatomical Gift Act of 1968 states that organs cannot be donated without the consent of the decedent or the donor if they are not the same person. If you are an organ donor and your organs are available for transplant, they will typically be excised within 24 hours from the time of your death. If you are not an organ donor, but you have expressed your want to be to your next of kin, then they can opt to have your organs donated on your behalf. Organs cannot be taken from someone who is not dead. The Uniform Determination of Death Act. According to the Uniform Determination of Death Act, an individual who has sustained irreversible cessation of circulatory and respiratory functions, or irreversible cessation of all brain functions in the entire brain, including the brainstem, is dead. If you are on life support, but are brain dead, you can be pulled off life support in support of organ donation, as long as you being pulled off of life support does not cause you to die as much as it allows you to. Another great aspect of organ donation is that you give the gift of life to someone who desperately needs it. According to UNOS, there are over 113,000 people on the wait list for organ donation. Every 10 minutes, someone else is added to the wait list. And of the people on the wait list, 20 of them die every single day waiting for a life-saving donation. While a large percentage of these donations are direct donor donations, where the donor knows who the organ is going to, there are very many cases where they are indirect, where they do not know where the organ is going to. There are a total of 8 organs that can be given to someone who needs them: the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the liver, the pancreas, and the intestines. Some of these are much more commonly transplantable than the others, such as the kidney and the lungs, which in 2018 alone saw over 29,000 transplants. For obvious reasons, there are some organs that can only be donated after the death of the donor. Organ donations can only occur when the organs are healthy enough to be transplanted and the donor died in a hospital. As good intended as organ donation is, there are some counter arguments to the ethics of organ donation. Organ donation, ultimately, it does more good than it does bad. One of the main arguments against organ donation revolves around the idea that you are taking a healthy person without health complications to cover for someone who does have health complications. Dr. Joseph Murray was one of the doctors who successfully transplanted the first kidney in 1954. He had a hard time justifying this new achievement in science. Dr. Joseph Murray stated that as physicians educated and motivated to make sick people well, they risked the lives of healthy people. Up to this point, healthcare had been all about making people better and not worse. While this might have been a problem back then, it doesn't pose as much as a problem as it did. According to Mayo Clinic, people that give one of their kidneys to donation experience kidney failure less than people in the general population of the U.S. And from 1998 to 2007, there were only 4 known cases where someone who donated their liver experienced liver failure. Even though organ donation poses some risks, modern medicine has advanced greatly, and it should be taken as this. In summary, organ donation is a great scientific advancement, and the things that we can do with modern medicine are amazing. Not only is organ donation ethical, but it is humane, and we should continue to practice this. Organ donation is ethical because it requires the consent of the person that is giving a part of themselves. Some people's lives depend on organ donations, and since we have a safe, humane way of doing so, I think that we should continue to pursue this route. Even though that you are taking a part of a human body away from a healthy person, you are giving it to someone who desperately needs it. And it's life and death. So now that you know that you very well can save the lives of 8 people, what will you do?